This podcast is a proud member of the UUOP Network.
This is episode 619 of the unofficial Universal Orlando podcast for July 9th, 2024. Hello, everybody. It is Michelle, your host for today. And with me, I have Lee.
Hello, everyone. I mean, there's no way to sound disappointed. I know it got heated last time, but it's not that bad, is it?
I don't know. We'll see. How nice do you plan on being today?
I'm too tired to give you any, so probably all right.
Fair enough. Cool. Yeah. So Lee was sick for like a week, and then now Tracy's sick, and I have no idea why Chris is gone.
Chris is working. Chris unfortunately got called out for meetings, so he's not here.
Gotcha. Wink, wink, working.
Oh, he will be. He has to, I think, at the moment with baby on the way.
Yeah, that's true. That is true. So yeah, it's just yours truly and Mr. Lee today. So hopefully we don't fight too much. I think we'll be okay.
The thing is, people listening don't know quite how heated that last episode got, because I managed to kind of take the edge out of it and leave the argument. But it was a bit spicy.
It really was. It was crazy.
I do want to say, actually, before we get into the main show, there's a couple of things I wanted to mention before we get started. There's one thing that the internet has been full of over the last week that we're not going to talk about because I don't want to get Michelle into trouble.
Yes.
And I don't actually want to talk about it until it's official, because if what I'm hearing is true, I'm not very happy. Yeah.
I have no idea what you're talking about, Lee.
So people expecting us to be talking about Epic Universe tickets, because that information seems to be doing the rounds, even though everyone who knows it shouldn't be telling anybody. We don't want to talk about it, quite honestly. I don't want to talk about it, which is unlike me, but I just think until we get official confirmation, even though it's kind of official confirmation, but without it being official confirmation, I want to hear it from the horse's mouth before we actually talk about it properly, because then obviously we can tick it off our Epic Universe predictions. But I think we're all wrong at this point.
Kind of, yeah. So we're not going to talk about that stuff, like you said, until it's official, for many reasons. One, because we don't want to mislead anybody. I mean, we do talk about rumors sometimes. This is a little bit of a different situation. Yes. And like you said, I definitely don't want to get in trouble. So if any of my people out there in the Universal travel agency world are listening, I'm not getting in trouble. No. I'm keeping my mouth shut like I'm supposed to.
And when we do have this conversation, I'd actually like all four of us to be here as well.
Oh, for sure.
For definite, because I think it's going to be an interesting conversation.
For sure. Yeah, it is. I mean, it was quite a buzz this past week. So we'll get there. I'm sure that official announcement will come sooner than later. So
yeah, I'm surprised they haven't just done it at this point, to be fair. You know what the internet's like. It only takes one person to put it out there and then everybody knows it. You might as well just announce it at that point. But we know what Universal like to do.
I know. I mean, there's probably some legalities and stuff there. Yeah. Who knows? They've got their reasons. But regardless, I wish people would just do what they're told. And this wasn't just like a little, hey, here's a little teaser, try not to say anything. This was like, so the wording was so explicit in so many different like areas of what it was that was given to us that there was no way for you to ignore it unless you just are flat out choosing to ignore it. So I hate when people do stuff like that. It just makes it makes Universal not want to give us insider information.
Yeah.
In the future. It ruins it for everybody. So
absolutely.
Anyway.
Yes. On to better news. There's one we've hinted at recently. Two things. One, we can officially say it now. The first episode of the UUOP Network podcast came out last week. It is there to listen to. It was It was a mess, but it was fun. It was a fun mess. There was myself, Maddie from Rush of Fear, Kelly from Taste of Universal, and Gabe from Theme Park Duo. And that's the point of it. We're putting an episode out. It's not too much, don't worry. It's going to be an extra podcast, so you've got to find time to listen to a week. It's every 2 months. That's all we're doing. And the idea is that it's going to be, or try to be, a different member of a network podcast together. So it'll have 4 members, one from each of the 4 main podcasts, basically discussing a topic, talking about a recent episode, and then basically licensed to talk about whatever you want. We went to some strange topics, to be fair. It was interesting.
I heard you guys talked for like 6 hours.
It was a long time. It was way longer than I expected. I had a very specific time frame in my mind of every section, and it went nowhere near that.
I mean, you should have expected that to some extent, but 6 hours?
Yeah,
holy moly.
I don't know, it wasn't 6 hours, but it was about 3.5.
Good Lord, for one episode?
It was the whole episode wasn't that long, so don't worry about that.
Wow.
Yeah, so the next one we're already thinking about planning. Michelle, you're not on that one yet. I'm trying to think who the next one is. I think it would be Tracy.
So sad.
Kenneth, Shelby, and Nikki, I think. But then there's another thing that I still don't think we're quite ready to announce. I mean, it's there. It's in its entirety. But are we leaving it till it's out before we plug it?
No, I think we should plug it. So I know Lee just mentioned that we have currently four podcasts in our network, but we are adding a 5th. And I know that we've kind of hinted to this on Rush or Fear. And we've probably hinted to it here as well. But Portkey has actually started a Disney-centered podcast that is joining our network.
How dare you? To be fair, it was my idea.
It was your idea. And instead of bringing in an outsider, I just was like, hey, why don't you just let my team at Portkey do it? So you're not going to hear more of me. You hear enough of me. I mean, you've got me here and you've got me at Rush of Fear. That's plenty. So my awesome team of agents have actually come together, and they're, amazing teamwork. I just can't even be more proud of how my team is taking this and running with it. And it's going to be so good. So bear with us. Of course, with any podcast, the beginning is going to have some growing pains. But as far as like information goes and personalities and quality, I think that we're going to get there and it's going to be awesome. Absolutely. So it's called the Portkey Passport. And we didn't name it a Disney name specifically because we do plan to throw in every now and then something about another destination. Not just theme parks, but just around the world. But it is Disney centered. So our very first episode is already in the feed. Well, it's not live, but it is scheduled to go out on the 12th.
Okay. I did not know that. Yeah. That's news to me. Cool.
Yeah. It is scheduled to go out on the 12th, and they plan to start recording every other week. So we will be dropping an episode every 2 weeks on Fridays.
Cool. It was one of them things when I've been wanting to, this network idea is not new. It just happens that it happened this year. It's something I've been thinking about for years. But then having the motivation and the right people around to actually make it happen obviously just happened this year. So, but a Disney one is something I've wanted for a long time because it's something I've been looking at because at some point Tracy and I are going to start looking back to going to Disney again. I know, shock. We've dipped our toe in it a few times over the last few years, but it's one of those things. The Epic Universe is going to bring a lot of people into Orlando next year, people who've probably never been before. And going to Disney, as we talked about with Jeremy from Main Street Magic the other week, going to Disney is one hell of an undertaking now. Yes. And trying to find a podcast that hasn't been going for a long, long time, to get in on the ground floor, to find that information, because any Disney podcast that's been going for a long time isn't going to cover that stuff that you need. And I'm not necessarily saying you guys are, but obviously it's with starting new. It's probably you're going to cover whatever I don't even know what they call it now. Is it Genie Plus? They just changed it, haven't they? I can't even remember.
It is Genie Plus, and it's changing again, I think, July 24th. God. Yeah. So
that information is going to be absolute gold.
Yep.
So getting a podcast that's starting new, that people who are looking to go to Disney this year or next and trying to find that information without scouring through hundreds and hundreds of episodes is a huge deal for me personally. And I think it will be for a lot of people.
And you know what was a big deal for me is I've stopped listening to most Disney podcasts for a while now. And mainly it's because Disney... Okay, don't get me wrong, people. I love Disney. And if you're a Disney person, please don't be offended by this. But Disney
they're listening
people...
to a Universal podcast, right? If they get offended, then they're not listening anymore because they know how much I crap on Disney.
So like the stereotypical Disney person kind of drives me crazy. They are, stereotypically like super bubbly, wearing their Mickey ears all over the damn place. Everything's so magical and wonderful and pixie dust this and pixie dust that. And that's not me. And that's not how I do Disney. Okay. So I wanted to be like more of the more realistic Disney guest who loves it, but isn't going to like
sugarcoat everything to be amazing.
Poop glitter on everything.
Because
we're going to be real.
Yeah.
We're going to talk about and give you tips and give you tricks and things. And yeah, of course we love it. We're going to talk about the things that we love, but we're also going to be really super realistic about what it takes to plan and what some of like the downsides are and how to avoid those things so that you don't have meltdowns. And so I just wanted a different spin on the Disney vacation. And that's what my team is bringing. So think like the edginess of UUOP and Rush of Fear, with adult conversations and adult innuendos, but Disney style. So
I mean, we've prided ourselves over 13 years of doing this, of like, yes, we love Universal. It is our favorite place on the planet. Is it perfect? No, it's not.
No.
And if we find things that aren't perfect, then we're going to tell you about it.
Yes.
I like to think from the most part from a constructive point of view. There's times when life gets in the way, and unfortunately I might be, and I'm going to say me because I know it's generally me, where life affects me and my emotions are all over the place, and I might be on a bit of a downturn at that point, and I will be more over negative than certain other times. But then it's like when we do restaurant reviews, we'll review that restaurant. It might be terrible, but we will never tell anyone, don't go, that was just our experience.
Right.
Just be aware that you might have the same experience.
True. Yeah, exactly. So I do give a warning in the very beginning, in the intro of the episode, that, you might not want to have your kids around because not only may we drop a cuss word here and there, but we are definitely going to spoil some magic.
Yes.
So it's definitely a different take on Disney podcasts, and I'm looking forward to it. This first episode, like I said, I was not on it. But I did help edit it. And there's a section in there that had me cracking up.
Awesome.
You guys are going to have to listen to it. It's about a fan. It's about a little personal fan, and I'm just going to leave it at that. But cracked me up. So, look forward to that on July 12th.
Awesome.
So excited.
World domination.
We're getting there, one podcast at a time.
13 minutes in, and we haven't even started the episode yet.
No, we should. So, Lee, why don't you kick us off with some Producers Club birthdays?
Yes, we had a new member recently who's just joined. His birthday was back in January, on January the 24th, and that is Brian Aquad. So, happy birthday, Brian.
Happy birthday, although you did write brain.
Yes, I've just noticed that there.
So, Brain, happy birthday.
Oh, I know the next one. I know quite a few of these, actually.
Yeah, you do. All right. So next up, we've got on July 9th, Thomas J. Wagner. Happy birthday.
Happy birthday, Thomas. Thomas is currently at Universal Orlando celebrating his birthday, because if you know Thomas, then you know there was no way he was not seeing that Universal Mega Movie Parade with the Jaws float in it this year.
Oh, for sure.
And we'll get to it. I know you haven't seen it. That Jaws float is awesome. Tracy's very
he's probably going to jump on the float with it, I bet.
Tracy's very disappointed she's not going to get to see it.
Aww.
Next up, this guy. On the July the 10th, it is the one, the only Mr. Stuart Mallett's birthday. Happy birthday, buddy.
Happy birthday, Stuart.
I haven't given Feliz Cumpleaños. I think it probably would have been Stuart that got it.
Well, maybe you should give one and I should give one.
Okay. Feliz Cumpleaños, Stuart.
Up next we have, I'm so sorry, I'm going to murder your last name, but on July 12th we have Taylor Filarowski's birthday. Happy birthday.
Happy birthday. And finally in this first batch is Kevin is one of your agents, isn't he?
Oh, not anymore.
He's
He
not?
got a promotion at his job and couldn't do it anymore. So we miss him.
So on July 13th, it is Michelle's ex-agent, Mr. Kevin Jocelyn. Happy birthday, Kevin.
Feliz cumpleaños, Kevin. We miss you.
Cool.
Sweet. All right. Well, happy birthday to all of you. And as Tracy would say, eat lots of cake.
Yes.
All right. Let's jump into a Little Things with Seth.
This is not a Little Things, everyone, by the way.
It never is.
This is Seth Kaburski, co-author of The Unofficial Guide. I've been away for a while, which means you better strap in because we've got a whole lot of little things that are new around the Universal Orlando Resort to talk about. We'll start out in the parking garage where there's good news and bad news. The good news is that I did hear the old audio spiel with the themed music running in the garages. Not sure what was up with that audio spiel I heard testing previously. Bad news is that the moving walkway that was not working is still not working, and I haven't seen any progress made on it recently. When you do get through security, you'll notice that at the Universal Visa desk, they're now offering up to $200 in gift cards, plus $100 credit after you spend $500 on your card. And I've heard that pretty soon they'll be giving you the option of free express passes if you sign up. And if you are an annual pass holder, keep an eye on your emails because annual pass holder nights are coming on August 16th and 17th, and you can sign up for that free after hours party in the park. But before we enter the parks, let's take a quick look around City Walk. The big little news is that Jimmy Buffett's airplane has been removed from the Lone Palm Bar outside of Margaritaville. Happily, the Margaritaville folks have confirmed that it's just being renovated and will return sometime next year. The other big thing at City Walk is Despicable Me 4. There's big signage around the Cinemark movie theater where they had a free screening for Universal Orlando pass holders, and a supersized Minion is standing outside of the studio gates. Also now found in City Walk are the Beat Builders. This drumming show normally seen in the San Francisco area of Universal Studios Florida has been relocated outside to the plaza stage right next to the Epic Universe Preview Center. I'm not sure if this is temporary or permanent due to the mega movie parade that's now running in the studios coming right by the corner where their scaffolding was, but it looks like the Beat Builders will be out there in City Walk, at least for the meantime. And right across from where the Beat Builders perform on the Waterfront Lagoon stage, they have finished the rebuilding of seating there. They've done some repaving and put down AstroTurf, but otherwise it looks just like it did before. That project completed just in time for the new Summer Waterfront Concert Series. It started on June 28th, and each week has a different themed cover band. Speaking of themes, the Red Coconut Club has been reopening on Fridays and Saturday nights with different themes. They recently had a silent disco and a Y2K night. And if you are vegan, you'll be happy to know that Big Fire restaurant in City Walk recently added a new plant-based sausage cassoulet. We're going to head inside Universal Studios Florida, where on Hollywood Boulevard, the Five and Dime now has Ghostbusters merchandise, as well as merch featuring Lil Boo. You can also find a lot of this merch, of course, over in IOA at their All Hallows shop. Now that DreamWorks Land has officially debuted, that land is opening daily with the rest of the park, but the remainder of the park's south side is not opening until 10 a.m., including the Simpsons ride and Men in Black. In other DreamWorks news, the old Kid Zone Pizza Company has finally finished repainting its exterior to become the DreamWorks Imagination Cafe. And I also finally got to try the Swamp Dog from Shrek's Swamp Treats, which I think is the best item on that menu, at least value-wise. Moving around the park, Men in Black recently installed a bank of vertical, small-sized free lockers. These work far better with the freestyle cups than the horizontal lockers, so look for them to spread to other attractions in the future. Also inside the Men in Black queue, if you take a look at the bulletin board on the right-hand side, just past the coffee break room, I noticed that the little note that was put in there making fun of the closure of Disney's Galactic Star Cruiser has now been removed. In other vegan food news, the San Francisco streetcar snack stand recently added a delicious cinnamon sugar donut stick to its menu. But unfortunately, over at the Leaky Cauldron in Diagon Alley, the vegan shepherd's pasty has not been available. Supposedly, this is just a temporary shortage. Next to the Leaky Cauldron in Nocturne Alley, I noticed a change to the gate that is next to the tattoo shop. This is where they recently installed effects for a new wand experience. And it looks like the gate would now allow guests to point their wand through to trigger an effect. Speaking of triggering effects, they have introduced new interactive bubble wands sold both in DreamWorks Land and in carts placed around the park. These wands cost $31 plus tax, and by pressing a button, they can trigger each other to spew bubbles. They're also triggered by certain floats in the new Mega Movie Parade, which unfortunately had its July 3rd grand opening turned into the start of technical rehearsals. During the parade's first few days, it's experienced some technical delays and cancellations due to weather. If you do go out to catch it, be aware that it is turning left out of the Esoteric Pictures gate, the opposite direction that the old Superstar Parade went in, but the same direction that the Holiday Parade goes. Also, keep an eye out for a short-term Universal Orlando annual pass holder viewing area near Mel's Drive-In, as well as a permanent wheelchair viewing area by the Mummy, and a section just for Universal Visa card holders near the Brown Derby. Finally, Cinesational has been running every night, and during the daytime, I've caught them testing the fountains. Hopefully that will lead to a daytime fountain show as well. This is even though the building that they've been constructing on the waterfront across from the guest viewing area has still not been completed, meaning they're having to put construction walls up and down every day for the new parade. An interesting little thing is that I caught the first public performance of Cinesational with no drones on June 25th. If it rains shortly before or during the performance, they can't put the drones up. But I will say that if you didn't know there were supposed to be drones, it would still be a great show between the fountains, the music, and the fireworks. All right, let's head on over to Islands of Adventure, where the sign on the port of entry fudge shop is still incomplete, but the jail alley right next to it has finished its refurb and has been nicely repainted. In Seuss Landing, the water spewing pot on the Cat in the Hat's marquee is finally working again. And they've completed the refurbishment on the Purple Elephant near the exit of Seuss's If I Ran the Zoo walkthrough. But now the guy in the bathtub has been removed for a refurb. Of course, the most important news is that the Sneetches are back. Yes, the yellow Sneetch statues that are floating off of Sneetch Beach were gone for a long time, but they had returned. In the Wizarding World of Harry Potter Hogsmeade, the Hogwarts Express train station now has signs that show the departure times for the first and last trains of the day. And at the Hogwarts Express photo op, they've now introduced their very first female performer as the Hogwarts Express conductor. So keep an eye out for her. Also keep an eye out for white chocolate frogs, which have joined the milk chocolate and dark chocolate frogs in the lineup at Honeydukes. And keep an ear out for construction behind the scenes at Hagrid's. I hear that they are expanding their maintenance facilities so that the attraction will be able to get up to full speed even quicker in the morning at rope drop. Passing through Jurassic Park, there's still no news about the Pteranodon Flyers. And on the River Adventure, Hadrosaur number 2 and the Dropping Crate are both AWOL. Kathy's Ice Cream Window is now serving s'mores Sundays, and the comic strip cafe that it's connected to is closed, with rumors of a new menu on the way. Elsewhere in Toon Lagoon, the Ale to the Chief beer stand has been rebuilt. Blondie's mandatory use of mobile ordering seems to be here to stay, which means you can no longer order an off-menu veggie sandwich. And sadly, the handle looks to have been permanently removed from the Kaboom photo op. Last but not least, we'll end in Marvel, where the scene with Dr. Octopus breaking through a brick wall was only in 2D during my last ride. Hopefully just a temporary glitch. And the arcade across the street has recently received a Godzilla VR game, which looks much more impressive than the previous King Kong VR. Okay, that is going to finish it for this time. I will be back in another couple weeks. In the meantime, you can find my books at theunofficialguides.com. And until next time, I'm Seth Kabursky, co-author of The Unofficial Guides, keeping an eye on all those little things at Universal Orlando for you.
This is what happens when you give Seth a bit of a holiday. He comes back with like a triple edition.
Goodness gracious, that was a lot.
He picks up on things I didn't even know was a thing. The water spewing pot on the Cat of the Hat facade. Where the hell's that?
I don't know.
I can't picture it.
I can't either. Water spewing pot. No idea. No idea.
Annual pass holder nights. If Chris was here, he'd be like, cue angry pass holders not being able to get into a free event that they don't have to put on.
I know. I want to be mad. I mean, I can never go to them because they always do them in a month that I'm never there. So it is what it is. But
it's cool though.
For those who are locals, have fun.
It's going to be very strange going to City Walk when we come over this year, and that we never go to the Lone Palm, but that plane not being there is going to be strange.
Yeah, it will be.
Like, even if it's behind walls, it's still going to be odd for that plane not to be there.
Yeah, it's such a large staple of that skyline, like the lagoon line, you know?
Or like walking down 2 islands of adventure across that bridge. It's part of that.
Yeah.
For me, it's part of that view down into Islands of Adventure.
Yeah. I agree.
Beat builders in City Walk, do we find that a bit weird?
Kinda. I'm only used to seeing them in studios.
Like, I know they've been doing like summer concerts. They do like performances down on that stage and stuff. But to have an actual performance act that's normally in the park in City Walk is weird.
I mean, I guess it's kind of cool though. I don't see any reason why they shouldn't. It just gives the performers, more to do, more money to earn. That's good.
But I mean, that's very true.
Yeah. And it kind of gives people a little sneak peek of what they can see in the parks.
Yeah. Yeah, it could do with more stuff like that City Walk. I find City Walk can be, like, you want stuff going on when you're walking into the parks on a morning to kind of get you jazzed up, and there's not a lot of that going on in City Walk, really, is there? No, you're right. That's a good idea, though. Yeah, more stuff like that. Because then they sometimes don't. They'll put performers up. I know they did it like when the parks were coming back after COVID on the it's not really a bridge, but you know what I mean, where the Welcome to Universal Orlando sign is. I know they were putting like characters up there for a little bit when the parks reopened after COVID. Things like that. It's like, it needs more like that, other than it always used to be those people with the, those air gun things. Like air gun. Yeah, they're like a big, I don't know how you describe them. Oh, like the megaphone things. Yeah, but you pull, no, it's like a big thing. Like a gun, and they like pull the back of it and let go, and it like blasts air out. They were always selling them for the kids when walking into City Walk. You'd have no idea what I'm talking about, do you? I don't remember that. I don't know how to describe it, but it's like an air gun. It blasts like a huge blast of air, and there was always like street sellers in City Walk selling them, and you'd be paying attention elsewhere, and then they'd blast you with them. It's one of my memories of going to Universal Orlando for the first time. I never bought one because they seemed cool, but like they were like, what are you going to do with it when you get home? Right.
No, I think that they need to do a little bit more in City Walk, and this is, I mean, it's a good idea.
Absolutely. It'd be interesting to see how many times a day they're performing, or whether it's a set thing, or whether they're just strange.
I don't know. I don't know.
I know from the most recent Taste of Universal that Big Fire plant-based sausage casserole is not the only thing that's changed at Big Fire. Apparently, they've done quite a menu change there.
Oh, well, then I might have to check that out, because that's really the only reason I haven't gone to Big Fire is I'm not, the menu isn't amazing to me, and I'm not going to spend that much money on food that doesn't sound like I have to have it. Apparently, they've made quite a few changes as well over at Breadbox. Have you ever eaten a Breadbox, Michelle? Yes, once. It was pretty good. I mean, it's a sandwich. I'm not a big sandwich person.
Oh, you know, I've had that conversation with you. It's strange. Well, apparently they've changed that menu in its entirety.
Really?
Yes.
Huh.
They talked about in the last Taste of Universal, every sandwich has changed, which is weird. But okay.
That's an interesting way to make changes. Have you seen pictures of this swamp dog?
Probably, but I can't think. Did you have it?
No, I didn't. All of that stuff was closed by the time I got in there.
Oh, yeah, you went late, didn't you?
But Brittany and Jack. So Brittany and Jack are two of my main hosts on the Disney podcast. And they went and had one and sent us a picture. We have an agency chat, and they sent us a picture. I was like, what the hell is that ugly, nasty looking thing? And it was the swamp dog. So I guess it's not meant to be pretty.
No.
But he said it tasted good. So it looks disgusting. The
DreamWorks Imagination Cafe seems to have left a bit to be desired. I know a few people have seen the menu and just gone, is that it?
Yeah, there's nothing there. They took away the dang pizza fries, right?
Yeah, I think there's pizzas. There's a couple of pizzas, some beignets, but they just Boss Baby beignets. I think there's a donut or something. And it's they have some weird mental block with food at Universal. They'll do certain things, like Minion Cafe, fantastic. Can't wait to go again. Circus McGurkus looks amazing. I can't wait to go to Circus McGurkus. And then they do this, and you're like, it's strange.
It's an afterthought. What can we make that's cheap and easy and doesn't require us to change anything in our kitchen?
They probably didn't have an awful lot of budget left over from DreamWorks Land, and that's probably what it comes down to. I wonder if it'll change up once Epic Universe opens.
Maybe.
Just for Shelby, but see, Seth called it the shepherd's pasty. I'd even take calling it the shepherd's pasty. Just leave the pie bit out. She knows what I'm talking about. I mean, I've highlighted Bubble Ones and Mega Movie Parade. So if Chrissa was 8, Michelle, would you buy her a $30 Bubble One?
Yes.
You would?
Yes.
Oh, you're a 1%er, aren't you? I guess you were the wrong person
I have to say, I might even be tempted to buy myself a Bubble One.
Really?
Yes. Is it an exorbitant amount? Yes. That's a lot for a Bubble One. However, I'm a sucker for technology and for things like interacting. So the fact that it interacts with the parade and with other people's Bubble Wands, I'm a sucker for that kind of stuff. So
see, that's where I think we talked about this recently with the glow the show years at Disney. I think a light up thing works better than bubbles. Because we watched Jackie Super Enthused video from the first technical rehearsal of the Mega Movie Parade, and she was like, she bought one and she wasn't sure whether it was interacting with the parade floats or not.
So it's not like an obvious.
I mean, it could have been just because it was first day of technical rehearsals. It was it was just getting ready to start raining. It rained literally as it passed them. But it's just I get it. The technology is cool. Like I agree. Anything that can interact with stuff is awesome. I just think a Bubble One was a bit, I don't know, weird. Kids love bubbles, I get it.
But listen, kids love them. They're not losing their popularity amongst the youngins. So
the youngins. How old are you?
Huh?
How old are you?
I just threw that word in there for all of us Southerners. And, you know, to add in just a little bit of like fun for the adults as well. It's not a bad idea, to be honest, because like I said, I would get one for my 8-year-old, quote unquote, be like, here, but I would be having just as much fun with it. Yeah.
So the Mega Movie Parade, you said you haven't seen it. I would go and watch it because realistically, I don't think you'll get to see it this year.
You think it's going to come back? Like, it's going to come back after Christmas, though, right? They're not going to change it again?
Maybe. I don't know.
I mean, they spent so much money on it. I can't imagine them just doing it for a few months.
I mean, again, I've seen videos of the parade. Those floats were no small undertaking. They are not cheaply made, like, just to last a season floats. They are awesome. Shout out to the Jaws float specifically and the ET one. Both me and Trace were like, that ET float is awesome. It's so cool.
I haven't seen the ET. I've seen the Jaws one. I've seen the Ghostbusters one. Oh, so cool.
Oh, they lied. They lied, I think, with that Ghostbusters float when they were like, oh, the 16-foot Stay Puft Marshmallow Man. You're like,
not quite that tall, but
he's about 8 foot on an 8-foot platform.
Right.
But I think for me, the floats are cool, but the best thing about the parade for me is the performers as part of it. So each float has like a group of performers. So the Back to the Future one are on hoverboards, like dressed like the guys from Back to the Future 2. They've got the mayor and that from Jaws interacting with the crowd. The Ghostbusters actually look like they've even got the new ones and the old ones. So they've got like a McKenna Grace lookalike who she actually looks really like her.
That's so cool.
That seems to be, for me, the best part of it. Don't get me wrong, the floats are amazing. I know Tracy was telling me, have you seen the Jurassic Park one, Michelle?
Yes, with the T-Rex. Big dinosaur. Yeah.
So apparently someone tweeted out, that animatronic is amazing. And Mike Aiello tweeted back saying, not animatronic, puppet.
What? Wow, that's so cool.
Yeah, it's awesome. I'm so gutted we're not going to get to see it.
I mean, I'll get to see it next year. You guys will be back next year too.
If it comes back next year, I don't know. It wouldn't be beyond them just to do a seasonal thing.
But literally not even a full 2 months. Well, like that's a lot of money just for 2 months.
If you look on the website, it says its select dates through November 14th.
How is that? They can't do it through Halloween Horror Nights unless they're not going to put floats. I mean, not floats, unless they're not going to put sets in the streets.
I can see them doing it now till the end of August, then stopping through Horror Nights as soon as Horror Nights finishes, running it for that 2 weeks after Horror Nights, and then obviously it's ending November 14th, like we said before we started recording, because of the holidays. Unless they've got plans to have like the sets be movable. Maybe. I mean, they used to do Horror Nights where they'd roll stuff out like half an hour before it started, so maybe.
Because it's really just Hollywood and then
New York.
Oh, well, we've got the one down, but they didn't really do one down where Despicable Me stuff is right now, so.
No.
Or Minions.
It'll be interesting to see if they do run it through Horror Nights. But I hope you do get to see it. We won't. I know that for a definite.
I hope you get to see it. I mean,
we won't get to see it this year. I know that. I'm well prepared not to see it. That's fine, because I'm expecting not to see it. But if I do, awesome.
Right. Cool.
The other thing that I did put on here, and I definitely wanted to talk about is, and I'm sure you're quite fond of this as well, Lady Conductors at the Hogwarts Express.
So
Awesome. So the day this debuted, a friend of ours, who is a friend of a conductor, let's just say that, posted pictures of it. And I was like, that is awesome. So I posted his pictures, with his permission, of course. Probably our biggest Facebook post in history at this point. I was amazingly surprised. But Seth mentioned Lady Conductor. No, there's actually 2 at the moment, and as far as I'm aware, they're supposed to be introducing a 3rd one as well.
That's great.
It's awesome.
And to be honest, why have this taken so long?
Well, apparently it's took over 4 years to get them to go back on this and actually let them have female conductors. I don't see the issue, especially considering the conductor's not even a character in the books or the films. So it's not
that's
like...
That's what I was going to say. Yeah. So it's like, it's not a thing in the actual literature. So like...
You're not going against a character stereotype because that character doesn't exist.
Right.
Yeah. It got Tracy thinking, I know she'd mention it if she was here, whether this being a successful rollout, whether we'll see this happen elsewhere. And us kind of brainstorming. Well, I think she kind of wanted to do an episode on it and kind of look at other roles within the parks that could be switch gender. I mean, the obvious one is the night bus conductor.
Oh, yeah.
Because
although that is a character.
He is, but as far as I'm aware, the conductor at the bus in the parks isn't... So the only one you meet in the books and the films is Stan Shunpike. And as far as I'm aware, the guy you meet in the parks isn't... I don't think he's supposed to be Stan Shunpike. No. I think he's just supposed to be the conductor.
Yeah.
So I would expect that one to be the next one.
Yeah, that makes sense.
But it's great that they've done it. It's a bit crappy that it's took them so long to do it. Like, it's 2024, people.
I know.
But I can't. Right? I'll be going to find them when we go out at the end of the year because I think it's super cool.
That's very cool.
It just changes the dynamic a little bit.
Yeah, and it just makes actors in general, no matter what their sex is, to be open for more opportunities. So
absolutely, cool. Yeah. And then just think little girls going to Hogsmeade as well, of having that representation as well. Look at us getting all political.
That's very true.
It is. I don't know if there's anything else you wanted to talk about. There's 2 last things. Pteranodon Flyers still down with no mention of anything from Universal about it at all.
No mention.
Weird. I wonder why it is.
I have no idea. I would hope that they're doing something different altogether. I really want them to put in something that's okay for everybody, and I don't know. I just think that ride itself has so much potential to be so much more.
Yeah. But I mean, they haven't even said that it's down for refurb. They've just said it's closed.
It's just closed.
And not permanently or indefinitely, just closed.
Yep. No, I've heard nothing.
Very odd. And then River Adventure, it only went down for its annual refurb not that long ago, and there's already issues with it. I think it's about time they just closed that and did the Jurassic World layover from Hollywood at this point. I think it needs draining and just redoing from the ground up.
Redo it. Yeah, I mean, we wrote it when we were there a couple weeks ago, but it's tired for sure. It's still fun, but it's tired.
It was always going to be difficult having rubber-skinned animatronics in water in the blazing Florida sun. Yeah, it was always going to be difficult.
Yep, that's true.
So they could probably just do with replacing, rather than trying to maintain them, because I'm sure since that opened, animatronics have come on leaps and bounds since then, of literally just pulling it to bits and re-putting those animatronics in. And like I say, just
especially when you've got Velocicoaster right across the way, and those animatronics that are inside just the queue. I mean, that's not even the freaking ride. It's just inside the queue are blowing the animatronics away that are in River Adventure. You know, it seems like the obvious next step.
Yeah, because I think the one out in Hollywood looks really cool. I kind of the Mosasaur section they go through, even though it's screen based and Universal get blasted for it all the time. I think it works for something like that. That works. Then get the Indominus Rex in at the end with that cool, like, I don't know, even bring over some of the stuff from Beijing. That animatronic in that Beijing ride is amazing.
I haven't seen it. I need to look at it.
Oh my god, seriously. Just
so cool.
Mind blowing is what it is. And Andy Diginova and Catherine DJ Nova, who both worked over there when we had them on to talk about working on Beijing, whenever that was, like 2 or 3 years ago. Even Andy was like, even though someone who's worked over there and seen it firsthand and understands how all these things work, even he was like, dude, it's amazing.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. The only other thing I wanted to mention before we move on is, this may not be interesting to a lot of people, but the visa, like,
oh, yes,
that they've got going on right now. This is a pretty dang good deal with the $200 plus credit. And then if they're going to add on express passes, that's pretty awesome. But just to mention, so as soon as they mentioned they were doing a universal credit card, I was like, yep, sign me up.
Yeah.
Because yes. So I've been a member since they literally announced it. And I have earned so much money in, they send you, like, you can cash out your rewards for Visa, for Universal gift cards.
Okay.
And so literally I've earned like $200 or whatever in gift cards. And that's what I used on my last trip. So I really didn't pay hardly anything out of pocket. But aside from that, I was able to go and visit the Visa Lounge.
Cool.
And it is so freaking nice, like so nice. So it's really kind of a good deal if you are a Universal frequenter, and you're okay with credit cards. I know not everybody is, but that's really a good deal. The card itself, I'm really enjoying, and that Visa Lounge, and it's in the very front of Universal Studios, and they do check your credit card when you go in and make sure that you have the right credit card or whatever. But it's so nice. They have these big cushiony, like, couches everywhere, your own, like, private bathroom, the fridge, like cold water, snacks,
nice.
A water bottle refill station. Super nice. So 100%, like, we'll be visiting that lounge every trip.
And all the Brits are like, ugh, we can't take advantage of that because we can't have an American credit card.
Oh, that sucks. I'm sorry. You can come in as my guest, though.
Oh, cool. I'll hold you to that.
I can bring 3 people with me.
That's good.
Yeah. So it was really nice. Like, we needed to recharge our scooter when I had my sister with me. So we went in there and plugged in the scooter and just sat in the amazing AC. And Carissa literally laid on the couch and, like,
of course you did.
It was so nice. So yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, so that's the last of the little things, I think. So let's go ahead and move on to some more birthdays. Lee, why don't you kick us off with this one?
Birthday quadruplets we've got on this one. That's why I lumped them all together. Yes, July 15th, we are kicking off with, oh my God, my one of my favourite people in the whole wide world, Mr. Brian Cooper. Happy birthday, sir.
Happy birthday, Brian.
I haven't spoken to Brian in a while. It's been too long.
I know. And then also on the 15th, we've got John Sheps. Happy birthday.
Happy birthday. And then also on July 15th is Miss Madeline Bergstrom. Happy birthday, Madeline.
Happy birthday. And last but not least, on the 15th, we have John Roberts' birthday. Happy birthday, John.
Happy birthday. Oh, it's a busy day that day.
It really was. Holy moly. Okay. Yeah. So let's take a quick break and hear from yours truly and her favorite travel agency, Porky Vacations.
I wish to go to Universal.
Right, off you go. We'll beat to the edge of the Forbidden Forest.
Where can our vacation wizards take you? Just tap the port key at portkeyvacations.com and let the magic begin.
All right, welcome back. So let's kick off the rest of this episode, because we still got a lot to get to, with Which Stick Gets Your Lick? And this one comes from Kirby.
Which stick gets your lick? Oh, hell yeah. Lick it, baby.
Hi everyone, we are here at the parks. This is Kirby. I am joined by my sister Kendra, brother-in-law Chris, and my nephews Camden and Cohen. So we just got our freeze ray pops. I got the blueberry lemonade. I wanted to get it because I was hoping it would be nice and tart, and it is. It's not overly sweet. I don't get a ton of blueberry, which is actually fine. I like the lemonade part of it, and I'm going to give it a 4.5. Kendra?
I got the coconut. I really enjoyed it. It was super refreshing. I would give it a solid 4.5. It took me back to when I was a kid swimming at the pool.
Chris here, got a lemon mint. I would say it's about a 3.5 out of 5. As a lemon enthusiast, I could use a little bit more lemon. The mint was good, and the ice texture was good, so good stuff.
This is Colin. I got the blueberry lemonade. It's good. I give it a 4.
All right. Talk to you all later.
I had to look it up when I was editing this one because that's the first vote we've had for the lemon mint, and I was like, is that even a 1? Because I've never heard anybody talk about that one, and it is.
Yeah, I don't remember that one either.
No, but it is on the menu.
Sounds like an interesting combo.
It just depends on what sort of mint it is.
I would assume it'd be just like, that's true. Definitely not peppermint, but
like an actual, like the plant
mint. Like the plant mint.
Weird. I might have to try that one. Cool.
Audrey's a big lemon fan, so I'm surprised she didn't get that one. So has it always been on the menu?
I think so. I mean, I'm a huge lemon fan as well, to be fair. Like, lemon is ice cream, anything like that. Yeah.
Okay.
Favorite cheesecake, lemon cheesecake, can't beat it. Well, of course, if like Kirby, you want to hear yourself on the podcast, it is super easy. All you've got to do is get involved in this year's interactive topic, which is which stick gets your lick.
All you have to do is go to Freeze Ray Pops inside Minion Land at Universal Studios Florida and try as many of the popsicles as you care to try. Once you've done that, record yourself ranking each one of them out of 5, 1 being,
oh, hell no.
And 5 being,
oh, hell yeah.
And send them to us at podcast@uuopodcast.com. And for the best recording, do it while you're at the parks.
They still make me laugh, those. Oh, hell no and oh hell yeah.
I wonder what it's like for like brand new listeners who have no idea the story behind those clips.
We're laughing our heads off and they're like, what is, I don't get that, what the hell that is. That is a listener of ours, a very good friend of ours, Miss Gillian Dunn. I still don't actually know where it comes from.
I don't even remember anymore.
No, because it started off with oh hell yeah, but I have no idea where it comes from at this point. Gillian, message in, I can't remember.
I know, it's been that long. Okay, let's talk about my favorite subject ever, Halloween Horror Nights. We have already talked about the latest HHN House announcement over on Rush of Fear, but it's time to get the opinion of Lee.
It is, because there's a lot of people been ragging me on this, because I've said categorically from the start of Horror Nights this year, I'm not actually that bothered that I'm missing it.
What?
I'm not that bothered. I'm quite happy. Are you just
telling yourself that so that you don't have a mental breakdown?
So when we didn't think we were coming out this year, I was like, okay. Instead of being like in tears on the floor. And now we're coming out and not during Horror Nights. I'm still kind of like, yeah, I'd rather come out when we're coming out, to be quite honest.
Why? Is it because you didn't like this particular movie?
Just Horror Nights in general. I'm not that bothered about this year. It's very strange. Like I say, last year kicked me a little bit, and it was a bit of a mess. We've talked about it. It was logistically, and for me and it's a different kettle of fish for me and Tracy coming over as well, because we generally only get over once a year, and it still seems crazy saying that, by the way. Trying to do everything in a week to 10 days is exhausting, I'll be honest. Because we're trying to, it's like you, Michelle, you'll go, like Chris does, you will go for Horror Nights. So you might hit the parks a little bit during the day, but your focus is Horror Nights. We don't have that luxury because of who we are and what we do. We need to do Horror Nights, but I also need to get in the parks and I need to try. Like if we were coming over this year, but like I need to go to Mel's, I need to go to Circus McGurkus, I need to try this, that, and the other. We need to go to DreamWorks Land. We need to watch Sensational. We need to do this, that, and the other, and do Horror Nights. And it's, it's
exhausting.
Nearly 50 now. It's hard bloody work.
Well, I mean, here's a novel concept.
Come out twice a year.
You don't have to do HHN every single night.
No, we don't, but I can't.
I know.
If I've got tickets for it, I need to do it every night I'm there.
Lee is like the poster child for FOMO.
Absolutely. It's like, even I know how Tracy and I work, that even if we went, do you know what? That night we'll just come in, we'll do a couple of hours, and then we'll leave. No, we won't. No. We'll be there all night because we've done it before.
You'll run into somebody and yeah.
But anyway, on to this house announcement. So, if there's something strange, if there's something weird, an ancient artifact unleashes an evil force that threatens to destroy the world in all new haunted houses inspired by Sony Pictures' latest film Ghostbusters Frozen Empire. The all-new Ghostbusters Frozen Empire haunted houses at Universal Studios Hollywood and Universal Orlando Resort bring the latest installment of the global Ghostbusters franchise to life, as well as iconic ghosts, creatures and characters from the beloved classic series in authentic haunted houses that capture the horror and humour from which the films are known. I don't know how many times we need to see haunted houses in that phrase. Ghostbusters Frozen Empire will transport fans of the film franchise to New York City, where the Spengler family teams up with the original Ghostbusters, who are now at the helm of a top-secret research lab for their ghost-busting enterprise. With the daunting discovery of an old relic that has set free the vengeful spirit of Garaka, who threatens to freeze everyone to death, Ghostbusters new and old must join forces to protect their city and save the world from a second ice age. Isn't there about 6 of those films now, to be fair?
Yeah, probably. As guests venture through the haunted houses, they will find themselves in the sinister world of the supernatural, from Ray's occult bookshop to the Ghostbusters' new high-tech lab and containment facility to the dank New York City sewer system. Fans will embark on this petrifying journey alongside the Ghostbusters, encountering iconic ghosts who slime and nefarious villains who are out for revenge, all while trying to escape an army of ghastly creatures bent on cracking bones and turning their veins into rivers of ice. As they navigate their way through freezing and frightening conditions, the Ghostbusters will need their wit and humor to defend the city they love from a terror too chilling to believe.
So Universal have already set their stall out to tell you this is the comedy house this year. They've said humour a couple of times in there, just to let you know this is going to be the fun house.
Yeah.
So going back to, funny enough, I'm actually wearing my 2019 shirt as we record right now. I was bitten a little bit by that house because it wasn't what I wanted it to be, which would make me trepidatious over this one. But I'm a sucker for a cold house.
I said the same thing.
I mean, Yeti is my favourite house of all time. Of course, this one would sit there. You haven't seen this film yet, though, have you, Michelle?
No.
It's okay. It wasn't bad. I'm not quite sure what... My memory might be terrible, but I don't remember them going down into the sewers.
I have no clue. Maddie and Kenneth, or Maddie for sure, said that this one is a little bit more on the serious side when it comes to Ghostbusters films. I mean, they didn't say it's all serious, but they said it is. If you are looking at like scare, this one definitely has a little bit more of like the serious type, something that people could consider to be scary as opposed to the other ones.
Maybe it's very much along the same lines as Afterlife. It has this. It feels like the natural sequel to that, which it was, of course.
Yeah.
It was okay. It was kind of that. So it did a better job. So I feel the Ghostbusters films have done a better job at kind of following on from the original ones than the Jurassic World films did from following on from Jurassic Park, if that makes sense. And also on the same vein, the new Star Wars films kind of leading off the back of the other ones. I think this has done a better job of kind of incorporating those older characters in a new environment with new people.
Okay. That makes sense. I hear Garaka is kind of a scary looking creature and very big.
Yes.
So like there was a lot of discussion on how they are going to personify Garaka in this house.
Yeah, I hope it's some sort of puppet and not like the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man from the 2019 house that doesn't move, or like a projection that was a bit strange. I think you would need to see, but you would need to see it in some form or another, but he is very, very tall, but very, like, spindly.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know how I would feel about this one. It's interesting because I still want, even though we're not going this year, Tracy and I are still going to do our hype lists, and we're going to try and do our actual lists by watching vlogs.
Aw, bless you.
Just to play along. And it's going to be interesting because I think I struggle sometimes with going through Horror Nights houses because they are such sensory, overwhelming things that will come out of a house. I'm like, oh my God, did you see that? And did you smell this? And and I'm like, nope, didn't see any of that. Whereas sitting at home watching it on the TV, we could probably take it in. Like we watched The Last of Us walkthrough coming back from last year, and I picked up so much more watching it on like a walkthrough video than I did actually walking through it.
Well, of course, because you're, like you said, you're not having that sensory overload where you're having to listen and smell and everything all at the same time. You can actually just pay attention to the details. But for me, that's all of that stuff is so all encompassing. Like it's hard. It's hard for me to enjoy watching walkthroughs. They just aren't the same to me.
Well, they aren't. But if that's the only option we've got, then
yeah, I know. I wish there was a way I could just take you with me in a camera or something, but there's no way they'll let me have a camera on.
I do want to bring up the merch. I know Seth mentioned it in Little Things. I am a little disappointed with that merch because if I was coming over, I would probably buy a Ghostbusters t-shirt. I'm a huge Ghostbusters fan, but I don't like the fact that the t-shirt has the Hollywood arches on it.
Yes.
If I'm going to Halloween Horror Nights at Universal Orlando Resort, I want my merch to be Orlando Resort specific. It's weird. I don't like this. They're doing what Disney did 10 years ago. And I get it. I understand why they're doing it because it cuts down on costs.
For sure. But I agree with you, Lee. I don't like it.
Like, if you wear that t-shirt, they go, oh, did you go to Universal Studios Hollywood for Halloween Horror Nights? Like, no, I went to Orlando. Oh, why are you wearing that t-shirt? Because this is the only one they sold. It's weird.
And the hat, did you look at the hat?
I heard Maddie talking about it on Russia Fear that it looked like it was just like a sticker on the...
It's awful. It's awful. Like the whole Ghostbusters merch that they put out this year it just looks so cheap. I don't know why.
It's weird. I don't understand because if you actually look at the promotional image for this house, it doesn't have the arch on it. It's just Garaka and the Ghostbusters. And I'm like, just use that.
Yeah. Don't put any arches at all.
Yeah. Like if you're going to choose between one or the other, just don't bother. It's weird.
I finally agree with you, Lee.
Yeah, I don't understand. Like I say, Disney did it a long time ago where they stopped doing like Walt Disney World specific stuff. And it was all Disney parks. And I didn't like it. When I was a proper Disney fan, and we'll get into it a little bit more actually on next week's episode because it is something I'm going to bring up. But yeah, Universal seem to be doing it as well, which is weird when you consider how much Orlando is separating itself off from everything else with what it's doing, that they're still kind of homogenizing the merchandising with everywhere else is so strange. Like if there's ever a time in its history that you want Orlando to stand head and shoulders above everything else, right now is that time.
Yeah.
And yet we're going to do Horror Nights merch with the Universal Studios Hollywood arch on it. I know, strange.
Right. I agree.
But
completely agree.
I'm sure the house will be cool. I hope, even though I'm not going to get to see it, you'll have no idea what I'm talking about. But one of the lab techs that works for Winston in the Ghostbusters thing is one of my favourite British comedians. I hope he is represented in that house. James Acaster, I find him hilarious, and he is in it. And I hope they have a person playing him specifically in that house. I'll be very happy at that point.
Aw. I too like a cold house, so I'm looking forward to like the environmental stuff of this one.
Yeah.
So I wasn't a huge fan of the first house they did. It was okay, but my run-throughs weren't that great. There were a lot of empty boo holes. So hopefully that doesn't happen again. But regardless, I do like when they use like smells or cold or rain or anything like that. So
it will be interesting.
Nice.
Hopefully, with only doing four IPs this year, they might have a little bit more budget to spend on the IP houses, so they might feel a little better hopefully.
Maybe. We shall see.
So are we waiting for one more house? Is that it? Have we had 9 or is this 8? We had 6 originals, have we? And then this...
We have 6 originals? What are the... Shoot, I can't remember now.
Triplets of Terror, Black Museum, Goblin's Feast or whatever it's called.
Okay, we've got Monstrose.
Yes.
Monstrose.
Of course.
Slaughter Cinema.
Yes, of course.
The Museum, Deadly Exhibits. Major Sweets Candy Factory.
And
Goblin's Feast and Triplets of Terror. You're right, 6.
Yeah. So then we've had, what IPs have we had?
Just A Quiet Place and now Ghostbusters.
So we're waiting for 2 more.
Yeah. All right. Well, cool. I think that's going to wrap up this week's show. Don't forget to send us your Which Stick Gets Your Lick recordings to podcast@uuopodcast.com. But to end this show, we have a listener submitted How Bad is Fast and Furious from Craig Borgen. Fast and Furious Supercharged is so bad.
How bad is it?
Fast and Furious Supercharged is so bad that Vin Diesel, Dwayne Johnson, and Jason Statham all offered to change their contracts so they can now lose fights in the movies, only if Universal closes the ride. Oh, goodness.
Funny.
Thank you for that one, Craig. Please send us your fun facts about how bad Fast and Furious Supercharged is, along with your Which Stick Gets Your Lick recordings to podcast@uuopodcast.com. Catch you next time. Bye.
Are you insane? Get out of here. The curse, it's real. The podcast is over. So, the Magi want you to check us out on Facebook, Instagram, X, YouTube, TikTok, and Pinterest. Just search UUO Podcast. For all the podcast news and articles, check out our blog at uuopodcast.com. Contact us by emailing us at podcast@uuopodcast.com. And if you want to join the Producers Club, email us at uuopproducers@gmail.com. Silence! With your subscriptions, we shall rule for all eternity. Listen and subscribe to the podcast on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Podcasts, and everywhere else podcasts are found. Not even the Magi can save you now. There is no escape. Your end shall be my beginning. Prepare yourself for your next trip by emailing Michelle at portkeyvacations.com. She can take care of all aspects of your next Universal Orlando vacation. We hope you enjoyed your podcast. Please remain seated and keep your arms and legs inside the Prepare to Forfeit Your Souls. Check out the other podcasts on the UUOP Network. Rush of Fear, Halloween Horror Nights podcast, the theme park duo for all your West Coast news and info, and the Taste of Universal, Universal Orlando food podcast. So hey, welcome back. Hope you enjoyed the podcast. I would have enjoyed this podcast a lot more if I had gotten my cup of coffee.